Hi, I want to show you today one of the killer features of Zoom, Breakout Rooms. One of the things that's a killer feature from a teacher's perspective. A breakout room is where you're able to take individual students or groups of students and put them into their own little Zoom meeting. But it's a Zoom meeting that you control when it starts and when it ends. So you can put them into groups, then stop it, and then bring them back together again. So that's the basics of it. We're going to go through creating a breakout room with two students in, so you can see how that works. We're going to do it fairly quickly the first time, and then we'll go a little bit slower and explain some of the things that you can do and what the different options are as you go. So here I've got 3 people on a meeting. The background with the trees, that's me as a teacher in control of everything. So it's the screen you can see now. So what you're seeing on the screen of the computer is from me as a teacher. The other 2 are students in outer space and in San Francisco. So the first thing you'll have to do is you have to turn on breakout rooms, and we'll look at that possibly another quick video just to show you where you find that. It's under advanced settings, the one that opens up the website. You need to look for breakout rooms if you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, have a look at the other video. Okay, so let's have a go. If you haven't got it turned on, you won't have this option down the bottom here that says breakout rooms. So if you look at the very bottom, you've got record, then breakout rooms and reactions. So I'm going to click on this option here that says breakout rooms, and then we have some options that we can do, but I have my 2 students here. I'm just going to, I've got one breakout room, and I'm just going to click open all rooms. And what's happening on the other computers is that those 2 are being joined together. And you can see in my meeting, if you have a look at the participants over here, there's only me in it now, whereas there were another 2 people. So the others have disappeared into their own little Zoom meeting. So I can then do things like I can send them a little message. And at the moment, I'm not taking part in what's going on. But if I want to go and join this group, I can click on here and say join meeting. And now what it's doing now is it's now transferring me into that Zoom meeting with those 2. So there we are, I'm back with the 3 of us again. So I can then have a conversation with them, I can see what they're doing, I can make suggestions, and then I can leave that room and just say I'm just going to leave the breakout room. Make sure you pick this one, not these ones. And that's going to take me back to looking at it overall. So hang on, we'll just come back in. So if I click on breakout rooms again down here, so I can see the list here. Okay, so at this point I've only got one breakout room. So when I'm finished, I can just say close all rooms. And what's happening on these 2 is they're getting a message saying in 30 seconds that breakout room will close. And they can click early and come back into the meeting. So let me just do that. So you'll see they're now disappearing from this list. If I click on participants, you can see they're back in the meeting with me. So that was the quick version. So let's just go a little bit slower this time. So again, you start from breakout rooms. Then we have some options down here. So let's have a look at these first. So you have this option here, which is the one I would probably tick. That means that automatically their device will switch into the breakout room. They don't have an extra message that says, do you want to join? You want them to join, don't give them a choice, just do it. If they're students, obviously. If they're adults, maybe you can give them a button, if you really want to give them a button to press. Okay, allow participants to return any time. So you can allow them to just come back. That's your choice. They have an option to ask for help, which will basically come up on your screen. So that's probably what I would suggest they do rather than leaving the meeting, because you may not be, you may not be around. You may be visiting somewhere else. So I probably would turn that one off. Breakout rooms close automatically. Well, we don't really want them to close I don't. But you can choose. You can have 30 minutes and it will just stop. I would rather control it myself and just shut it down. Countdown. So it will do a little countdown at the end. So I was doing a 30-second countdown, but you can do something different. Okay. So I've got a breakout room already started here. When you come into it, you probably will have a different set of options. So let me just recreate. Okay, so this is probably what you'll see. When you first come into it, it'll say, I've got 2 people taking part. How many rooms do you want? Well, if I have 2 rooms, there'll be 1 person in each room. If I have 1 room, there'll be 2 people. So just for the sake of argument, I'm going to make this 2 rooms so you can see something a little bit different this time. You have 2 options on here. You can say automatic, which will just shuffle your students and it will decide who goes where. Or you can click manual. So let's have a look at manual. You can play with automatic if you just want to do it quickly. So we'll do manual and we'll just create those rooms again. So here are our rooms. So I need to now put some people in these rooms. So I'm going to say assign. So Rob can go into one, the student can go in the other. And you can do things like you can move people around. So now they're all in number 2. And move them back. So you've got those options to shuffle people around. You can also swap. So I can swap those 2 around. You can see they're both swapped. Okay, so when you're ready, you've got everything done. If you're doing this manually, then you say, like we did before, open the rooms. So that's now opening both of them. And they're both in their own little meeting on their own. So you can see in here, you can get a good idea. At the moment, you're in your own meeting. As you can see, participants is only you. So you can see that these 2 students, there's nothing here saying they've not joined or that they've left. So you can get a good idea of what's happening here. We can then decide we want to pop in on this breakout room 1. So we just click on join. Say yes. That's now going to go off and join the computer over here, or the phone over here. When you're done, you click leave, come back out again. So you've left that one alone. They're busy doing their own thing, and you're now back in your main one again. So to get the screen back again, you need to just reset things. Click on breakout room, maybe click on participants, and you can see what's going on. If you want to send a message to everybody, then you have that ability to send a message. That goes to all the screens, so you could give them a little bit of a countdown and warning that's going on, but you have to be back in your main meeting before you can send that broadcast message. Unfortunately, they can't click in links, so it's not that useful for some things. There will be a question, I've got a question video planned as well that will answer some of the questions that people had about the practicalities of using these breakout rooms. So we can talk about a few more things about messaging before and after and how you coordinate things. But from a technical point of view, I just wanted to show you how you allocate students and the experience that you have as a teacher. At the bottom of the screen on a desktop, there is an Ask for Help button. So you can describe this if you like. On a laptop and on a phone, they have to tap the screen, and then you'll see a little option that says Ask for Help. I think on an iPad that stays there all the time. I'll show you what happens when somebody does that. So I'm just going to ask for help. So they get a button saying invite the host to this breakout room, and then I click on a button. You then get a message saying somebody's asked for help, who it is, where they are. So you can say later, you can just remember and come back to them, or you can click join and go and visit them. So I'm going to go, let's go and visit them. So it's just done exactly what it would have done with a join. So I'm now over there. It's given them a little message telling them that I'm arrived. So now on the other one, I'm just going to ask for help and see what happens. See whether you get to know about it. Okay, so even though you're in the meeting with this one, you still get a message saying student 1 is asking for help. So you can then say later, or you can decide that you want to go and visit that one. So I'm just going to click on join. Now it's taken me off this one and put me on this one, who asked for help. So it just tells them that I've arrived and I'm here. So again, I'm finished. I'm just going to leave the rooms. I'm just going to do the same thing again. I'm going to click on breakout rooms, then click on participants so you can see what's going on. So now I'm just going to close all those meeting again. So these are now going to start returning. So you saw what's happening is they moved from here, from taking part, they started to appear over here. It's really quite simple. When you finally finish, you close the meeting as normal. Okay, so hopefully that's given you a bit of a heads up on how it all works. So in the next videos we're going to start looking at what it looks like from a student's point of view, so you're aware of that, and I'll look at any questions you might have about the practicalities of using it, when you can do things, when you can share information, and so on. Thank you.